And we're back with Cage Chronicles. How we doing, Kev and James?
Doing good, thank you. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
James is just waking up, apparently.
I'm very tired right now.
Just finished teaching class, eh?
Yeah, it's a bit of a rush today. We want to get one done, so we shoot it back straight away from class. But James was finishing last, so he was teaching leg locks tonight.
Yeah, we were doing leg lock Fridays.
Wow.
We keep it going.
Yeah, keep it going.
Yeah.
It's a tradition now. How's Kev doing?
Doing good. Busy day. Had some sparring this morning, which was good.
It was pretty full on.
Yeah, got my mouth guard knocked out of my mouth a couple times.
With Richard.
Yeah. No, it was all good though. Just training for the Thunderdome card. Both of us are fighting on it. And then I was gonna say chilled for a little bit in the day. Actually had a nap today, which was really, really good.
How long did you do a nap for?
Half an hour, which is like luxurious for me.
I think if I go more than 20 minutes, that messes me up.
Yeah,
like, I'm like delirious for like, if I go like an hour, then I'm like, oh.
Do you fall straight asleep though?
No, so it's hard because you can't like.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't time 20 minutes.
Yeah, because
sometimes you do wake up on the sweet spot. Yeah. I think
I try to like obviously set an alarm, because if I don't set an alarm, like I'm probably not going to wake up. Like I'll sleep through all my classes for the evening. Yeah. But if I set like a 30-minute like timer, I'll probably take 10 minutes to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And then I get my 20-minute power nap, and that's not too bad. And then came in, coached this evening.
Yeah.
And then
James.
What?
You've been sleeping.
James needs some motivation. Do you want some whiskey?
I've never had a nap in my life, so I'm
never sleep.
I'm out of this conversation. Yeah, I'll just.
Fair enough.
Too busy.
We got a few things to talk about. So we just had the start of the year started with the fight camps. We had Eternal just gone. Mm-hmm. We've got like a big week coming up. Next weekend we've got 4 over in Melbourne. And then the week after it'll be yourself, your pro boxing debut, Kev, and then Alden on Hex fighting for the welterweight title. So it's pretly crazy few weeks. So wouldn't mind recapping Eternal, what you think. Mm-hmm. So you guys were in the corner. You got up to level 2 bucket carrier.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Who's going to carry the bucket?
Who's going to carry the buckets? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So who did
I'm going to carry the bucket.
You did a great job. It's an important job.
Yeah.
You got to make sure everything's in the bucket.
I think there was 0 jiu-jitsu to coach on.
There was 0 jiu-jitsu. That's the second time now that I've been in the corner and there was no. I just sit there like.
Watch this now. Like there's gonna be like a fight where you're not in the corner, and it's just gonna be a complete grappling match.
Yeah. I think I jinx. Yeah, I think I'm jinxing myself.
Good.
I think because Jonesy was there.
Yeah.
Cage side.
Yeah.
And so he was with one of my mates, and he was like, James is just sitting there like waiting for it to go to the ground, and there was like no ground. So
almost like down for a second. I think Courtney's was down for a second, and it came back up again.
There was like a second of ground time or something on the stats. What's the saying go? Rather like have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Why are we going to quotes? Oh my god!
It's gonna be a thing.
He can see. He's like brought that prepared. He's been thinking about that for 2 weeks.
I got a little book at home. Always prepared. Yeah. But who did we have up first?
We had 3 fighting. So we had Harvey, Jesse, and Courtney. So Harvey and Jesse were in the amateurs, and then Courtney was back in the pros again. So Harvey was up first. What's your thoughts?
Wicked fight, like really, really tough fight. Especially like it's always interesting at the time, especially being right there cage side, witnessing it, and then you kind of just find out things that like happen like afterwards, like just in terms of his hand.
Oh yeah.
So like you probably know a little bit more about that than I did. But he broke his hand.
Yeah.
And do you know what round?
I'm sure it came back after the first round.
Yeah.
Either way, it was a wicked fight because I knew Lorenz was gonna come banging. Like he had some. When I watched his tape, he had like really good leg kicks and he had some power in his shots. And I knew Harvey was going to put like big combinations together, mixes. Like he's very skillful with his striking as well. And I was wondering if Lorenzo might take it to the ground. Nobody took it to the ground. So but it was just it was the slugfest, like banging forward.
Big shots.
I think that Harvey had the volume, and then like Lorenzo did some damaging shots, and like, I think that's what wins the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was very close,
as it should do with damage. Yeah, it was very close, but I think those power shots like got him through. Yeah, but he came back the corner. I think it was the first round, and he goes, my hands, something wrong with my hand, and I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. So I just keep going.
Yeah.
And he said to me, and I went, what are you going to do? Like, and I couldn't deal with it at the time, and then he went out and just kept banging on. So he's
Really,
obviously, I think he's got a big future, like Harvey.
Yeah. He definitely still like, considering that happened to his hand.
Yeah.
Like he's definitely still threw it like super hard punches. I even remember like last 10 seconds, just went all out. Like it's just like.
But he's gone quite kick heavy, and then his punches he wasn't throwing as much. Like what we were trying to work. So yeah, I mean I don't know, but yeah, he messaged me today because he broke his hand, and he had surgery today.
Yeah, to get a little rod in.
He had to get a rod in. Yeah, so
he had to have surgery on his hand
today. Yeah. So he just messaged me then, but
I cut his wraps off.
Yeah,
and he was like,
it's probably you.
He's like, I've done something to my hand, and I was like, you'll be right. Like, walk it off. And I was like, it does look a bit swollen. Like, you could see it was swollen, and then probably
an hour later.
An hour later it was like massive, full swollen.
Yeah, so he had to have surgery just to put a little rod in because it was off. The break was off to the side, and then he said he's going to be 5 weeks with something, maybe with a cast on or something, and then he's got to do so many more weeks of physio and that, and then I'm not sure what happens, but I'll chat with him when he comes back in.
Let's work on his other.
But he was back in on Tuesday.
I was just gonna say, you did fighter training.
He's coming in tomorrow. He said, I'll be in tomorrow to watch the guys spar. I was like, that's wicked, so good.
He showed up and I was like, he had a cast on. I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, just like thought I'd go for the fighter run and whatnot. Like, and
that's what you want. You want. I mean, he's always in the gym. Like, you want someone who's like, even when they're injured, like, I'm in the gym, I'm supporting. I'm just gonna be there for everyone. You know, like, because we are a team and
great
stuff.
Mentality.
So yeah,
I don't do that. If I get injured, I stay home and eat chocolate.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah.
And then I drag myself back in and then feel sorry for myself. I wish I had that mentality like that to keep going.
It's only a chosen few.
Oh, man.
Some people don't see it for a while.
Then,
but Harvey's was good. Jesse.
I felt like that was a clinic.
Yeah. So like, we've had 3 guys fight against Liam already, and then this is the 4th one. And I think I found Jesse put on a clinic. Like his striking, because his jiu-jitsu is out. It's on another level.
Is amazing.
It's amazing, and I thought, maybe if he's not handling the striking, maybe takes him down, tries to take his back or something. But his striking was so good, and he picks stuff up so well. Yeah. I was so impressed the way he listens. Yeah. You say something, he does it straight away. Yeah. And like we were working stuff 2 weeks ago, he was doing in the fight and the little step offs and moving, and I mean, he got clipped a couple of times, but really good.
I think between the movement, like the feints, the footwork, like it was really, really clean striking. And then like you said, like we were calling out some stuff to him, and then just the capacity to like listen, and, like take on advice was really, really good. Even like against the cage and stuff as well. I was really, really impressed. I thought it was really, really wicked. Like and he didn't get really injured or anything from it. Like,
he was back in training the next day. Usually I get the guys to have a few days off because of the weight cut and everything. It takes a bit of toll on the body. Plus you've had this massive fight camp. But if they want to come back in, I'm not going to stop them. You know what I mean? So he's back in again. He's just ready to do something. Within a month or 2 months or something like that. Get back in there. He doesn't stay busy. So he's 4-0 now. And then we had Courtney in the pros. And she went and she had a hell of a fight. So I think all 3 fights were like amazing fights, but she went in, she was using the boxing, started to get her head moving towards. She's been out the cage for 2 years.
It's crazy thinking.
So like, it's just trying to get her back in there. She had that one, in one championship, which was like terrible because it was the weight above. And then she was like smashing it until she got caught. And then the second fight, I mean, to me, I said before in the last podcast, I thought she won that fight. And then the last fight, fighting probably the best girl in the country. I knew was going to have fast hands. I knew she was going to be able to do it, and she had a really good game plan of moving off.
Stylistically, it was a very interesting fight as well. I thought
it was like she was circling, moving, and then it was like a game of who's going to cut the other one off, or is she going to be able to move and land them counter strikes, mostly counter strikes against them, and then could Courtney get her against the cage, get the takedown, and I thought it was a really, really great fight. And I would say definitely give the first round to Courtney, I said, especially with the damage caused, and then second and third she sort of like started to move away a little bit, but it was close again. It was good, but I think she's really good, the other girl. Yeah.
She's really fast, like with her hands when
fast
she's picking
hands,
shots, but it's also like I find that like frustrating to fight that kind of like constantly on the circling away the whole time.
Which is for Volk's gym, and sometimes you see him do that.
Yeah,
like he's precious sometimes, and sometimes he's moving off and he's switching stands and things like that. And you know, it's a really good gym. It was good strategy by them. And it was just good to see Courtney back in there. So like, it was just to be in there again, go another decision, another 3 rounds in the bank. I think you just need to get her back in straight away.
Smart. I was gonna say she enjoyed it. Like she came out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're always going to be disappointed when you lose. Like you're going to be that because you want to come out with that win.
Yeah.
But man, she did really good.
It was an exciting fight as well because my mate that was there, cage side, like he doesn't do any fighting. This is the second internal he's been to, and he just kept on. I caught up with him today, and he was saying that he was surprised. You know, he said, oh, I kind of thought, oh, what's a girl fight going to be like? You know, like with a lot of things, it's like girl sports are like not as exciting as the men.
Because you don't really agree with like that.
Don't turn it around just because
he was like, well, we already know you don't agree with girls fighting, but so he was saying that he was like really impressed. Like, said it was like a really exciting fight, you know.
Yeah.
So.
No, I thought it was one of the best fights of the night. I thought it was decent calf, the ones I've seen. I heard mixed reviews about like some of them being like not as good, but some of them are really good. You know, I watched most of the pro card after it. What do you reckon, Robin? What do you think the best fight of the night was?
I can't remember his name, but that guy that went to Worlds who dropped.
Oh yeah. So Marwan.
Marwan.
Like, he came over. He was going to fight Julian. You were going to fight before you damaged your knee. And Marwan was at the Worlds with us, and then I was coaching. Kev was coaching, and I didn't know him from Adam. I didn't know him at all.
Very unassuming.
And very unassuming. Super confident though.
Yeah.
And then someone said, "Oh, he's a really good kickboxer. Like he's really good." Okay, kickboxing. Then I watched him fight, and he was like, he's on another level. Like it was really good, clean striking. Knocked the lad out, but then he got another lad in there, ninja choke. Yeah, finished him, and he ended up getting bronze.
Yeah,
he went against I think a Kazakhstani guy, and it took him down a bit more. Was it? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't honestly remember. But very impressive. And I was like, oh, it's going to be a tough fight for Julian, and as it was.
And lovely setup. Yeah.
What did he get at Eternal? Did he just fight on Eternal?
He just fight. Oh, sorry.
Julian.
So he went against Julian. First round. He actually threw him, and the other guy's more of a wrestler, and it was like a great first round. The second round, he came in. I think it was a double jab. Then he threw a left body rip on it or something like that, and threw a leg kick on the end.
Yeah,
but the body rip to the liver dropped him, and he just couldn't get back up again.
How did you guys see all this? Because couldn't see anything when we were out there back.
Because we watched things afterwards.
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
I was actually not.
He was out there. Yeah.
I was out at this stage.
Oh, you're out there watching.
Wasn't backstage anymore, but pretty impressive.
So in between naps and sitting back and rewatching fights, like you guys are real busy guys.
Yeah, a lot of downtime.
It's called research.
Yeah.
So I went back and watched a couple of the ones afterwards. I managed to watch Rod's and I watched Quillen's live, and then I went back and watched Wes Kappa's as well, like the other day. I don't think I've seen many other ones though. Didn't see the prelims.
All in all, I think it was like a really good card.
Yeah, it was good.
I liked Quillen's fight. With Marfan,
it was really good.
Because,
yeah.
I've watched Marfan's fights before as well, and like he's really good. But I think he escaped like 4 rear naked chokes or something. Like so, Quillen had him in like 4. He escaped the triangle first.
Yeah.
So Quillen slapped on the triangle. And then a sort of switch, tried to switch to an armbar. Marfan got out of that. And then, it must have been like 4 rear naked attempts. And then he finally sunk it in. It was...
Just Quillen's just good at each level, good switching between each style. I'm really impressed with him, you know what I mean? I watched it. It's a triangle I thought was super tight. And then when I watched it on the video, it was on his foot a bit more. I think it could have been like, if it was on his ankle, it would have been a bit tighter on there. And he switched, and then he ended up getting him in the end. It's so impressive, especially with the striking into the grappling.
Yeah, I think I think that's like one thing you can definitely tell the difference of like once the level starts coming up. It's that smoothness of transitions between the disciplines. Like
it's a real skill.
Yeah, because like Stace was in the crowd watching all the fights when we got out there after Courtney's fight. She was saying, there'd only been like one fight that sort of went to the ground or something. All the rest were like standing. And then obviously Costa and Quillen's fights both were like up and down grappling, and it's like more now becomes like MMA, like the whole thing like put together. Like once you get to like some of these like better guys,
that was good. And then the main question at the end of that was, what do you think of Betty's Burgers?
Oh yeah, Betty's Burgers was actually it was good. I was impressed.
Yeah.
What's Betty's Burgers?
It's like a place in Scarborough. So we wondered where to go afterwards because everyone wanted food.
Yeah.
So
did you all go out for
we all went out for food.
Well, to be honest, I'm kind of glad I didn't have to experience that because I wouldn't have been able to eat anything.
So it was like good milkshakes and beers. And stuff.
Where's it? In Scarborough?
It's in Scarborough, just on the corner. But we went to go to El Grotto and I couldn't get in. It's too busy. So we went to Betty's and got some food.
Not bad.
But yeah, finished the night off. I'm usually knackered. I did, burger and
what kind of
fries.
Burger did you get?
Betty Burger.
A Betty Burger.
Well, it's quite nice because Eternal finished at like, what time was it?
8:30 or something. Or before.
They were starting a bit earlier. Hey, so
it was good.
Nice. I can't wait to go get a nice big feed after fights and stuff like that.
I just wish we had Alden on that as well. Like I wish the fight I didn't have didn't fall through.
Yeah, didn't.
Yeah, then I could have carried the bucket for Alden.
You could have done.
Sat in the corner and said nothing because probably wouldn't go to the ground.
You never know. You never know. Important duties. Who is it? What you call it? Like before we went out.
I thought you were gonna say a quote then or something.
No, I was gonna say a quote. No. I was saying. I actually I nearly laughed my head off when you said before we went out. You're like, right guys, like who's in charge of the ice? And we no one really.
He's gonna throw him under the bus.
Right, so
here we go.
Because I was like, I have to,
So
and you're like,
funny.
whoever's in charge of the ice, just like make sure that it's sealed because like you're not allowed to like spill any ice in the cage. Like, and I know that as well. Like, but I was like, I'm timekeeper. I was the only one who had like stopwatches. Like, I'll be timekeeper. So it just happened to be Ashby. And then we're in the cage and everything, and I was.
Well, we got an ice bag usually.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find it for my life. I thought I must be on the side of the ring. I got everything out to do, and I mustn't have brought it with me. Yeah. And then I give him the little plastic bag, sealing bags and ice. I said, just be careful with the ice. Yeah. Because otherwise, if you spill it, it's a nightmare in an MMA fight because it's hard to get it out. It's easy to kick out the ring and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then he spilled it. I was like, oh no. But then I came out the fight. Yeah. And all the cars started coming out, and I thought, what's on the floor? And the ice bag was flattened on the floor, so I had brought it with me. Yeah. It dropped down my bag and on the floor, so I felt like flat. Yeah, I did have it.
Wait, so where was it?
Next to my car.
It was next. Didn't you go back out to your car?
I did go out in my car to try and find it. I couldn't find it, but then when I've come out in the dark, I seen someone.
Found it in the dark. So he went out there in the day in the light and couldn't find it, but in the dark he manages to find it.
He's got a sixth sense.
I struggle seeing like sometimes.
Sometimes
because my future's so bright. I struggle seeing.
Yeah.
You need to wear sunglasses.
That's right.
Yeah. That was classic because we were in the the secondary warm up with Jesse. No, because Jesse. So you guys are out there, and then we're out there with Jesse, like just getting warmed up, and you can see the cage just a bit, and so we're trying to watch from there, watch Harvey's fight. And then I'm like looking, and I can just see like the refs on the floor, and he's like going like this, like across the mat, and then Ashby's standing there, like Ashby's just like massive, towering, bright red shoes, like he's about to go to outer space or something, and then he's like holding a plastic bag and just like and I was like, I go to Cam, I was like, I think the ice bag's broken, and so Cam's like, fuck. So he's like, run. I was like, we gotta find another one so we can like rebag or double bag or something. So funny,
man. These are like the unspoken stresses of
it's
fights.
happened a few times in like Thai boxing fights and that I've been in whether I've been in the corner or fighting. And it's happened a couple of times that ice is split. But because it's a ring, it's not as bad because you basically sweep it out the ring and then you get a towel and just wipe it. But because the cage there, you can't get out. So I'm flicking it onto the judges' table like this.
I saw that. Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, there's one there." I'm like, "Here you go." I was like, "There's nothing I can do." That's some ice, mate. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, that was so." When Ashby came back out, I was like. Everyone's like, you had one job.
So wind him up.
I said to him, I was like, man, the one thing that Steve said before we went out, and he's like, what did Steve say? And I was like, are you serious? Like literally about the ice.
I said, you're in charge of ice.
Yeah, man. But no, that was good for a time.
No, it was a good fight. You know, I mean, obviously every time you want to come away, you want to come away with all wins. But I knew all the other guys were more experienced, sometimes double the fights and stuff, and I accepted those fights, so it's like there's no excuses there. But it was good challenge for them all. You know, I thought they were all really good matched.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good match fights. I thought.
And then for the next one, Ascension, isn't it?
Yeah, Ascension.
In
so
Melbourne
next weekend. So
well,
Ascension.
who's going over for that?
So we're gonna head over. Jack's got a last minute fight. Jack Miles, who was at the Worlds with us. Couldn't get him a strawweight fight, but there's a flyweight there to get him, so he's a bit smaller for the flyweight. We've got Ren.
Yeah.
You heard of her?
Yeah. Fiance, yeah.
Kev doesn't agree with her fighting.
No, I said it's in the kitchen.
That's rubbish, absolute rubbish, yeah.
I'm joking.
I'm all for women fighting.
Chauvinist.
So yeah, Ren's fighting, and then we have Moses fighting for the flyweight title, and then Ryan Jankowski. He's got the interim title for the bantam, and he's going to fight for the bantamweight title. So it's 4 fights, going to be good.
What coaches? Yourself and
myself, Courtney's coming over with us,
nice.
and then Frankie's going to fly over as well.
Awesome.
So we've got a good corner over there, and hopefully we do well. We think we're just going to fly over on a Thursday, weigh-ins on the Friday, fights on the Saturday, come back Sunday. So
gonna be a little bit colder over there.
Think so?
Yeah,
I think so.
Do you not reckon so? No.
Melbourne.
Yeah.
Oh, Melbourne, yeah.
It's like mid-30s.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Mid-30, there you go.
Well, last time we went, it was proper cold. Well, when I went over with Ryan, got the interim. It was like way colder than I thought it was gonna be. It's my first time over there.
Oh, Melbourne.
Yeah, and I was just
Well, I think we're staying. They messed up the accommodation, so we're staying a bit outside the city. So we're gonna be. I like to be in the city because I like Melbourne City.
What about weigh-ins and stuff? So obviously, like
they're both at the Melbourne Pavilion, and then the fights at the Melbourne Pavilion as well.
Cool.
But yeah, they've all got good matches. I've been able to see a little bit of each person to have an idea what they're like, and it should be fun. It should be good. Hopefully, we come back with a couple of belts. That'd be great.
Yeah.
So we'll see how we go, and then I'll be back straight away on the Sunday night, ready to finish off the week with you, and you're Friday and Thursday night for weigh-in, and Friday fight.
Friday.
Yeah, so we've got Thunderdome. Kev's making his pro debut boxing.
Yeah.
So that'll be.
I don't know if you know, but Kev did ask if I wanted to be in his corner.
Oh yeah.
But I said I was a bit busy that night, but I can understand. And I'd be like, throw them bones, Kev. Cut him up. Put him in a phone box.
Positive affirmation, encouragement, just back me up.
Just motivational.
Box him up, Kev.
Any quotes that you remember at all from Rocky, just chuck them out. Like
probably as helpful as you are in the eternal corner with the jiu-jitsu that's been going on.
Yeah.
At least I'm quiet though. I know I just sit. I'm not going to say anything while there's any striking. I just like watching, waiting. I take her down. In my head, I'm like, take her down, please. Well,
this is my moment. And then a second later, they stand up.
Before Courtney walked out, we were at the back, warming up, and she was feeling like really good, like when we were rolling on the mats and that, and she was just like getting the bag, sinking in, and the rear naked chokes and that, and she felt so like smooth and tight, like with the grappling. So I was like looking forward to seeing that. But
I mean, she's on fire, like with it. I think for the striking, with her grappling, just felt so solid and tight, and again, it does come into play when you've been out the cage that long. It just you don't perform like you want to perform, even though I think she did really, really well. Like I think you get straight back in there, it's going to be a different ball game. Some,
like really good moments.
Yeah, 100%.
She was like off the clinch with the head, and she was like hitting those
that's uppercuts. A massive knee to the body, hurt her, and then
knee to the body, the uppercuts, and she got her like a couple of good hooks in as well. Yeah. So those was really good. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Obviously, looking forward to coaching Kev for his pro boxing debut. That's going to be good. Thunderdomes, It's just getting the back in there after your injury, and then get back in the ring.
I was going to say, I mean, like, obviously just to keep competing and everything, I've been loving the training camp, the difference of it. Like, it is different, like, even
totally
just,
different.
Kind of getting used to the, like, style of it, like, sparring, predominantly just boxers going around the place. It's been very, very cool. I've really enjoyed it, using it as a good opportunity to get my hands like nice and sharp. And then, like after this, I get back into the cage, I reckon. Like I really love that before the end of the year, make a return. But take one thing at a time,
Yeah,
very, very exciting. And then that's going to be pretty hectic as well, because then Alden's obviously like the next day.
Yeah, so I think I got to fly
You're
out
going to coach
6 a.m.
me and then fly out?
Yeah, so Friday night coach you.
Yeah.
Get back 6 a.m. or okay, 4 something, and then fly over to coach Alden.
Yeah.
For the Hex title. So obviously the Eternal one dropped out, couldn't get him another fight, and then possibly found someone last minute, but like they couldn't get anything they said, and then managed to get Hex on board, and then got him a title fight against a really good guy in Jono as well. So that's going to be a crazy fight over there. So that's going to be a busy weekend.
I reckon.
Oh yeah, and the same weekend, same sense that there was Alden fighting. Sam's on Battlegrounds, then you'll be coaching at Battlegrounds. So
I think that'll be something good to chat, like what it's like having to travel so much or just be in so many different areas for so many different athletes like competing. Like especially when events like take place like at such similar time frames. Probably chat about that after the break.
Okay, we'll have a little break. What? We're back in.
Are we back? Oh, we're back from the break.
Good job.
I'm so confused at what's happening right now.
Just eating this.
We just had a break. Steve's eating. So Kev,
What's happening?
what are we talking about now?
We're chatting about.
One of the podcast listeners has sent in a good
A question.
Yeah.
They were asking, how do you go as like a coach or fighter with traveling like so much like interstate or having so many different events on like simultaneously? Like just what's that whole experience like having to like coach at multiple different events? Because we've obviously chatted about the fact that we just had Eternal, we have Ascension coming up, we have my pro debut coming up, and then like you're literally flying out the next day for Alden's fight, and then at the same time you got Sam on Battleground. So I'll just pitch it to ye, like chat about some of those. Ye. Like you plural.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Ye. Why would you say
Yo.
use?
You.
Yeah.
Use.
I
I'll pitch it to use.
I think planning is the main thing. Planning ahead.
Yeah.
Because, man, it's hard. Like, because as soon as I didn't know Hex was going to come up, obviously, because we thought we were going to be on Eternal. Thought that fight's gone. Like, we're going to have that one. So this one in particular, obviously, I knew I'd have to fly back for yours, and then we'd have the box, and that's me done. Or then he could obviously deal with the weigh-ins. Then we end up going to Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
But then I got the fight for Hex, and then now everyone's at all different places, and I don't think we've got any more coaches left.
Because you've got to be there for.
Robin, do you want to corner someone?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Even
put Robin
just
in.
like supervising all, but like it's not even just the actual event. Like as a coach, like
Well, the weight cutting as
weight
well.
cutting. Yeah, you want to be there for the weight cut and stuff before. And then obviously there for the events and stuff as well. It's almost like when you say planning, like I know it's way more stressful than a holiday, but it's almost like planning a holiday. Hey, especially when you've got to like think about flights, what time you're landing, what time you need to get to the hotel.
Well, everything's got because you got to like plan. Okay, we're gonna go to the hotel. Where's the saunas near the hotel? Where's
do
the
they
eating?
work?
How we taking? How we getting from A to B? Are they gonna pick us up? Are they not gonna?
Yeah.
So it's all these things we're gonna have in place. And I need the coaches to be able to do it. And luckily, we've got really good coaches to do it because James was gonna come over. Then then the battleground is there, so he's gonna hang back and he's gonna coach in Sam. Obviously, you're competing, so you're gonna be focused on that.
Yeah.
Courtney's just competed, but then she's agreed to come over with us for the Ascension one.
Yeah.
And then Frankie's gonna come over for his brother as well, which is great. And then we've got now Cam and Ashby gonna go over early with Alden to cut weight, and now I'm going to come over on the fight day. So it's just like you need the people to be able to do it, like people you can rely on, and who were experienced, which we're pretty lucky to have a quite experienced team of coaches and stuff. And then planning ahead, you really have to plan because you've also got to run a gym.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In the background, you've still got all the classes going, all the people training, all that still happening, and then everything else around.
Plus the paving jobs.
Yeah. Plus my paving job.
Yeah.
And then one thing I think about though, like, is like when, like you say, like, okay, you plan it. It's like you can't plan for all these like unexpected things either. Like, because obviously obviously we thought, you know, we'd have Olden on Eternal on the weekend, and then that would have been that. But then that drops out, and then you don't know what's happening there. Then all of a sudden he's going to Melbourne to fight for the title. So then I was like, oh, cool. Well, I'm going to take my bucket, go on the plane, go to Melbourne, carry the bucket for Olden over there. But then you're like, no, Battlegrounds is on that same night. And then you're like, okay, so now that changes that. And then Kev's fighting the night before. But then there's so many things that can happen in between. Like Kev's opponent could pull out. Yeah. Olden's opponent could pull out. Someone could get sick. A coach, even one of us could like... Yeah. Something could happen to one of the
I feel like you're jinxing us now. You touch this wood.
I'm just saying. Like, you don't... You don't think of that extra stuff. There's all the planning and the things, and then there's all those other things that can happen. Like someone gets injured before the fight or whatever.
Well, it's always... I think if you have a good team... Like, take for instance when I went to Bangkok. So we went to Bangkok. Yeah. We went there, to train. Obviously, you guys were going to go and then have the... Like, obviously... propose and have the holiday and then so you guys are doing that. I got so sick. Like I got real sick. I got like bloody influenza, and I got like it was the worst I've ever felt in my life. So I come back, and then everyone else gonna have to cover me because everyone expects me to be back there, but then they've got to change they're helping out with the work. They're so good. Like we've got such a good team. We got Claire like running like all the admin stuff, and then helping with everyone. Cameron's switching stuff and helping me out. Kev's helping me out, and then James is jumping in doing so. So it's like it only works because you've got such a good team. I think. And then I think one time I went away, and then as soon as I went away, I think, oh please, nothing happened when I'm away. Like I was going on holiday, and then Tui has got COVID. And I was like, oh no! And then I was like, what are we gonna do? But it seems to work out. Like everyone seems to pitch in.
Always at the end of the day, even if like those things do come up.
Sean started jumping in and helping with that one. So it's like, and then Courtney. It's just good. It's good to have a good team.
I also think like, obviously you don't want it to get there, but it's like sometimes, you know, classes have to be cancelled or whatever. Like there's nothing you can do about it. But when you got a good gym and a good culture and a good vibe, it's like the members like understand. Like they're just like, we get it. Like this, they want to see the people that are going and stepping out there, like to fight or compete or whatever. 16.
Well, they're just behind them. I mean,
exactly. So it's like if a class has to be, I can't train. If I was a member and I'm like, there's no Friday night 5:30 training because Kev's having his pro boxing debut, you're just like, well, that's, it's like a one-off.
But I think we're pretty good. I mean, I can count on one hand on my time we've cancelled a class. And then we've got like, 50, 60 classes on the thing. Like, it's pretty good. But I remember, like, something came up and I had to go and do something, and then there was no one else to teach. And then Harvey and I said, and I thought, Thursday night, probably going to be pretty quiet. I was like, do you mind taking a class for us? He's going, easy. It's like beginners, like we're just basic fundamentals. It was packed. I was like, and he's like, after that, he goes, I've got such a respect for you as coaches. He goes, that is just another level. Like it's just like, you got to plan your time, and then you got to do this, and this was taking too long, and this was taking too long. But it's just experience doing it. But it works, and everyone get really good feedback. So it was a wicked session. So. Yeah, as long as you got like good technique, you're good with people. I think with coaching, you're good with people. Then you can put some of the other guys in and help out. Because we've got because we've got such a big fight team. We've got a lot of experienced people there now. As well. So
what you're saying is, if you can structure a class well, then you can plan and structure like being at multiple events. Different.
I think your taxi's here.
I thought you were coming with I thought I was leading into a quote.
No, I was like,
he's like, you gave me that like bombastic side eye, like you were about to like come in with a quote. He's like, right, it's coming. I've got this one saved.
No, I just think like when it comes to those,
you were just trying to put a button on it, like on the end of the answer.
Yeah, just a little ribbon,
question.
just to finish it off. Like I was thinking, like, because when it comes to like, we're obviously chatting about like the amount of different things that can happen, like the stresses or like just kind of the hecticness of like having all these events, all the different like objectives or tasks that we need to do for the fighters, cutting weight, being there, like all of that, running classes. But like all of that in itself is challenging, but like it makes it so worth it at the end of the day as well. Like when we do those things, like how fun is it? Like,
it's so good. I mean, I think
when it all comes together.
To be there and do all this stuff, it's just like absolutely amazing. I love it. And then, but like sometimes everything seems to go wrong. But like to be able to make a solution to it, and I think as a coach and you're doing all this stuff, you're teaching, so you're a coach, you're an instructor, you're a little bit of a social worker, you're a bit of a psychologist, you're a bit of everything, because you're trying to stop people are telling you stuff, and you're trying to help them out with that sort of stuff, and they've got emotional things, and people are fighting, like, oh, what do you think of this? And then next minute they're cutting weight, and then everyone's mood changes, and it's just, but it's like, I think you have to be a bit of everything, put all different caps on as you go on, you know what I mean? So I think it makes you better as an athlete as well yourself, I think.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's really cool. Like obviously there's still like so many different areas in like for one kind of a job, if that makes sense, as a coach. Like you said, you put on different hats for different reasons. Kind of like different things are like not necessarily expected of you, but like as a good coach, you like really take things on board to be that way in certain areas. But I think that's super rewarding. Like how cool is it that like you get to do those things like in your job? Like, do you know what I mean? Especially, well, for me, like being a coach in the gym, between the atmosphere of like everyone that we teach, the actual classes that get run is like unlike anywhere that I've been before. So I love the gym for that reason. But then even just like going over to different places for fights, experiencing all these things have all been really, really wicked. And I think that is because we have such a good team. Like, you know,
I think so. Yeah, it's just, I think we can all help each other out. We're going to build this like even bigger and better all the time. And I think as an athlete, because you guys, like, I jump in now and again, do something, but you guys, you compete, you still compete, and I think it just makes you better as an athlete, because you got to, as a coach, break things down. Sometimes when you're teaching that, someone asks you a question, you go, oh, I'm not really sure, like, what would I do? And then you break it down in your head, but then also, like, you're dealing with, like, all these things that they're going through, all this stuff for psychology for a fight, like on fight day and things like that. You're dealing with weight cutting, so you got to be good with that. Injury, how do you deal with an injury? I mean, like, that's why I was late today. Like, someone got injured in the gym, and I was just about to get out the door, and I'm like, but just things happen. You got to be on the fly and be able to do it. But the more you do it, the more you sort of get used to it and be able to go, this is what you do now, and this is what you do now. But I think
just do what I do. If someone gets injured, just pass out, and that's the way to deal with it. Or yell out, Steve. That's what I normally do.
Pass out.
I'm not good.
Oh man, if someone sends me
as in you see it and you pass out.
Steve sends me, James, you got to do your senior first aid course. I was like, this is a waste of time, because anything happens with anyone, I'm basically like, whoa.
No, but I reckon, so I'm the same. If I watch a video, everyone, for some reason, sends me people's legs breaking in a kickboxing, and I'm like, do not send me this. I don't like it. I'm not really into it. But the amount of stuff I've dealt with in the job I previously was in, plus all the stuff in the ring and in the gym and that, I just deal with it there and then.
Ren was super impressed. She said to me tonight, she was like, man, like moves like patella, like a kneecap, like popped out. It was like dislocated, like, and like I was freaking out, didn't know what to do. And then she was like, and then like, how was it? Like Steve just went over and like he's just like slowly like straightened the leg, and he was like so calm and just like popped back in. She was like, how does he even know how to do that? And like, you said it's not.
I've just done it like a lot of times. Like I did like shoulders, friggin' knees, all sorts of concussion. Like I've dealt with it loads. Yeah. But you sent me a video of that. I'm like,
true,
I just don't want to. Like I can't deal with it. Yeah. So I reckon like if something happened in front of you, I reckon you'd be able to. No.
Fight or flight.
I remember Kurtz broke his toe and it was like sideways, and I was like, I was like, I'm like, Steve. I was like, just. And then the other day when Oscar just like what happened? He got like just in grappling, just caught a knee to the head, and his eye like splendid. Blood was just like pouring out, and I was like,
well, first of all, it wasn't.
I'm just gonna get some ice. So that's my first thing.
It wasn't pouring.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It was like basically it was like a little.
Not at all.
You just gotta have a look at it and see how's it deep. Okay, we've got the doctors.
Yeah. Have you ever broken anything?
I broke my toe in New Zealand because a guy. Well, it's a little bit of a story. But so we went to New Zealand. It was like
I don't want to hear the story.
it was. Oh, I'm
This
telling you.
better be a good story.
So we went to New
Swear
Zealand.
down.
It was like our first day there, and we were like going to be snowboarding and everything, Queenstown, and so we went out that night on the town, and then a guy came. I don't know where he came from, but he had a golf club, and so he came and tried to like attack my group with a golf club. I don't know, like
Just drunk.
Yeah, just drunk or whatever.
Yeah.
And so then I think at the time I was like a blue belt, so I was like, mate, I'm gonna smoke this guy. So I was like, and I was like pretty angry, and I was drunk.
Did you still have dreadlocks at this stage?
I think, I can't remember. Can't remember. But yeah, so I was like, anyway, wanted to fight him, and then Stace obviously held me back, stopped me from fighting him. So then I got really mad that she stopped me from fighting. So I kicked a metal pole and broke my toe. And then for the whole rest of the trip, the pain trying to snowboard, because we were like snowboarding for like 8 hours a day, and it was like I was just in so much pain. But it was the first day of like a whole trip of snowboarding, so I just had to like push through it. And then when I finally got home, I went to see my doctor, and I was like, something's wrong with my toe. And it's like, so now it's like this, doesn't touch the ground, it's just like that. And then, and he's like, yeah, it's broken. And he's like, what do you want me to do? It's too late now. I can't do anything about it. So now I just got like a little toe. So that's the only thing. Anyway.
Not all superheroes wear capes.
God, the pain. I was
kicked the pole.
Kicked the pole, broke my toe,
How hard
and
did
it
you
was
kick the pole?
so
Like proper, yeah.
like real hard. And then it was because you're snowboarding, you know, like toes,
Yeah,
heels,
yeah.
toes,
I haven't
heels. So
actually-
you're like leaning on your toes as you're like.
So
touching.
really,
I
in
was
this
just like,
in this situation, it's Stacey's fault.
exactly.
Because she held you
That's
back.
true. Never thought of
should've
that.
went out, yeah.
Blame her. Yeah,
There you
she
go.
shouldn't have held me back.
Exactly.
Would have taken that guy in his golf club and rammed it up his beep.
You were a blue belt. So. Yeah, you broke anything?
Me?
Yeah.
I've broken a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
I've broken a lot of stuff, yeah. Oh, you want me to list?
No, I was just asking.
I've broken like my feet. I've broken.
Break your feet, like both feet.
Fell off. No,
Broke my
not at the
feet.
same time. Not at the same time. Like I fell off a quad when I was younger. Broke my foot. What else have I done? I broke my wrist. Like I've broke my ribs before. I've cracked my skull open.
I've done that.
Oh yeah.
Did you make a rocket ship out of stools? Because that's what I did.
No,
I made a rocket ship out of stools, fell off, split my head open.
Heck, what?
Yeah.
What did you hit?
Once I got out of a moving car because I said, Mum, are we home yet? And she said no, and I went okay. Got out of the car while it was still driving, rolled back down the hill.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what speed were you going?
See,
You just reminded me.
James
crazy. I was just gonna
wonders
say-
why we never take him anywhere for fights.
That's absolutely crazy, man. No, mine was just like I think I jumped off of like a. Do you know those little swing sets? So you've got the slide, little ladder up to the slide, then you got like the swings. I think I was like, I just jumped off of that stupidly, and then the little frame.
That'd
at
be
the
massively high for you, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I know. Hey, it was devastating. Hey, like cracked top of my head, but just got super glued. Hey, and then that was that.
Yeah.
That was that sorted.
Yeah,
but,
I think mine. Yeah, you got glued too.
Yeah. I broke like a part of my lower. I say broke, like fractured like part of my lower spine before. I've had heaps of injuries, dislocations.
You ever punctured a lung?
But I did puncture a lung. I had a hole in my lung. I've literally so many things.
Everything,
Hey,
jeez.
torn LCL and stuff like literally like how's it? No, I'm actually not even gonna go into that saying. I was gonna give a saying or.
Go on.
No, was it like I'm a place waiting for an accident to happen? I heard that, no?
I have now.
I've never heard that.
No.
I'm a place waiting for an accident to happen. But it hasn't stopped.
Do you have
me.
like,
Same as
on the
you,
back
like-
of your toilet door, like one of these like little like every day you just flip it down?
It's got a quarter of the toilet paper.
Quote of the day, every single day, just change it up. Some of them are really good, like good little pick-me-ups and stuff. You got one right there. Read that one. You told me
Yeah,
that
I got
you
one
read
on the
that
wall.
every single day. What does that
and then,
say?
I don't know if
Robin
Robin could put this on the camera, but it's an old soldier and it says, "Get a move on, old man."
There you go. There's
And
your
it
motivational
inspired me.
quote.
So every day I look at that post and like, get a move on, old man.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I feel like my body's killing me. So yeah, it motivates me.
There you go.
Plus a cowboy hat next to it. So
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. Chatting about that, what you call it? You were saying motivation. We had a second question from.
Have we got time for the second question?
Oh, do you want to do it after the break?
I'm just asking you.
I don't know for
You're the timekeeper, so I'm just wondering. Oh yeah,
a little bit of time. Cool. Because you said before you chatted about fight day,
yeah,
and then you chatted about motivation. And I know we had a podcast where we were chatting about fighter mentality.
Yeah.
But the question was about what's the fighter mentality like on fight day?
Yeah, it was quite specific. So you look at it from a fighter perspective, or you're looking from a coach's perspective. You know, like so.
Do both, I reckon.
Yeah. From a fighter perspective, it's just staying relaxed as possible. Because the worst thing about fight day, I used to find, like when I was fighting a lot, it was like everyone talking to you about the fight, everyone messaging about the fight. So you're trying not to really think about it because it stresses the hell out of you.
Yeah.
And it's like, stop talking to me about it. 100%. Stop asking, how do you think you're going to do? What do you reckon you're going to happen?
How you feel?
And you're trying to be nice and you go, and you're answering back. And then you get people messaging you, oh, do you know if I can get my tickets in the door?
Oh,
do you know if I think? Yeah. Oh, do you know this? You know that? If I message you just before I come down, can I come and meet you? I'm like, the last thing I'm thinking about is meeting you outside or giving you tickets or whatever. Like, I am absolutely shitting myself here. So that's a big part of it, like where you're trying to like shut off from everyone else and focus on it because you want to just keep calm. For me, other people might be different. I was like, I don't want to think about it until I'm setting off for the venue.
Me too.
So like, I want to watch a movie, not even like a motivational, but I'm not watching Rocky.
No,
I might watch it the night before or something after weigh-ins, but I might watch something that's funny. Yeah. Just to chill out, just go out and do stuff. I'll go to the cinema a lot, like on the fight day. Like I'd go and watch a movie or something like that, and then okay, right, sweet, that's done. It take my mind off it a little bit. Yeah. Okay, let's focus. Let's get into it. Yeah. Because I don't want to just waste heaps of energy stressing out.
Otherwise, you'd be like stressing for the entire thing. Like, and if you think about it, like if you want to perform well as well, even if you were just gonna take like, let's say Saturday, we do like really hard sparring on a Saturday, and you want to spar really well on Saturday morning, and then like, let's just say for example, from Monday, all you're thinking about, I want to spar really well on Saturday, and then like everyone's asking you, like, are you excited for Saturday sparring and all that stuff, and you're like, I wonder how I'm eating this like during the week because I want to perform well on Saturday, and you're doing all this stuff, and you're just constantly thinking about it the whole time. By the time you get to Saturday, you're just so like you're drained, like, do you know what I mean? And it's just like it invades
times that by 100 where you go, all your family and friends are gonna come watch you.
And you could get knocked out in front of everyone, like. And the thing is, all of those things are potential realities, but I feel like the more you think about it, the more you open yourself up to like just how many different things could happen, but it's none of that is actually like in your control at the time. The amount that you like worry about it or think about it like isn't going to change anything up until you're like in there and you do.
The way I think about it, and like logically away from the fight, you go, right, okay, all this stuff I'm worried about is stuff I'm thinking in my own head. Yeah. Like I've got it from nowhere else. Like, what if this happens? What if I do this? What if I get knocked out? What if I get tapped out? Whatever it is going to be. And it's all nothing going to happen at the time. And you're just stressed out to death and you're nervous, right? Especially when you haven't fought for a while or whatever. Yeah. And then it comes to the night, stressing out. Comes to the fight. As soon as that first punch is thrown or whatever in a competition, and just jiu-jitsu, boxing, Muay Thai, whatever, then you're not stressed because you're in the moment. 100%. That's the time you want to be stressed. Because that's when it could happen. Yeah. But all of this stuff is like nothing's happening at that moment in time. Yeah. So logically, if you think about it, it's like it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time thinking about all this stuff. Yeah. But it's getting your mind to sort that out and be able to deal with that. And again, for me, it was like trying to relax, trying to do breathing exercises and stuff like that. It would really help me a lot more. I'd still be thinking about it, but it like I'd want to get that energy out a little bit, like and take my mind off it. Yeah. Again, we talked about this a little bit before, but it's just having a little routine. Yeah. And I think the more you fight, the more you have that routine, and again, maybe switching your phone off. Yeah, you know what I mean, like because now because when I was fighting, most of the time we didn't have mobile phones.
How old are you, mate?
I know.
Get a move on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Get a move on, old man. Yeah. So that obviously came towards the end, but like people just messaging and calling you like, and now it's like everyone's just like social media, and you start getting a habit of that's. Some people relax looking at social media, but like it's just like get off your phone, don't look at it and fight there, and maybe go and do something with like go and have a walk or just do something or watch a movie or something like that. I mean, I don't know what you do, James.
What did you do before you fight? How did you feel fight day?
Well. I've never like been in an MMA fight.
So but we're talking about fights, like jiu-jitsu, boxing.
But I don't know if it's like a different magnitude. Like if that, I always wonder. Like
no, but you got your perspective, and that's your perspective.
Yeah, obviously that is like the biggest thing you've done, or whatever is the biggest thing you've done. Like, but it's like I always think, you guys are like going into the cage and someone's trying to like knock you out or throw their shins at your head. Like so I always like tell myself like. It's not as bad as that. I'm like, Kev's got to go in there and like some guy's trying to like take his head off in front of everyone, like whereas like so I like try and like bring myself like it's just another role like so I just sort of go I just look at it like it's just another role. I like do this all day every day. Like there's all those extras like. So say Battlegrounds, you've got all those people that have paid tickets and there's like a big crowd there watching, and then there's like your stats are up on the thing and your walkout music and all of that. But it's like you take all of that away at the end of the day. It's just another role out there. Like it's just another match.
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
If I put a like 2x4 plank on the ground, I said I want you to.
You mentioned this last time.
You mentioned
you can't use the same stuff in a different podcast.
That's what he's saying. I'm just making it metaphorical.
You're
the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. Like it's just like that's the way I think of it. But I don't know. Like when I did Battlegrounds, like, that was like the biggest thing I've ever done, and I was like cool as a cucumber. Like I felt so good. Like I went out into the stage, stood there, just felt fine. Like everyone's watching, touched hands. But I think in my head, I already knew like exactly what you're saying. Like I already knew as soon as I touch hands, it's going to be fine. Yeah. You're just going to do what you do.
Straight into it.
So I think that's what I kind of told myself the whole time. I was like, everything else, all this lead up, you're going to be nervous. Like I was probably more nervous like way further out than getting closer. But I just knew in my head, I just kept on saying, as soon as you touch hands, everything will go and you're just going to be doing what you do. And then I just kept anytime I'd get nervous, I'd be like, it'll be fine once that sort of like pin drops, you'll be going and it will be fine. And I was like, I felt fine on the day. But then also saying that, like we just had another quintet, in-house quintet. I don't think we've talked about that since. So
it's like, if you don't know what that is it's just like it's a type of jiu-jitsu competition where it's like 5 people against 5 people against 5 people against 5 people, and it all goes on one weight. So you got like might have a big guy in your group or a smaller guy or mid-size, and you got to make that one weight. And it was just a bit of a fun thing to do in-house. So you guys had your team, didn't you?
Yeah, and then like so even with that, I find myself like nervous there, like that. Yeah. I don't know. It's like different pressures.
It's like competition.
It's different pressures. Like I think I go in there and I'm like, if these are like I teach all these guys. It's like if someone taps me out, it's like gonna be. I feel like I'm gonna get tapped out in front of like all my students and all the people I teach, like by a white belt or something, which could happen. So that I feel nervous from that all the way through to like a higher up thing, kind of almost the same.
But then again, if you think about it logically, and that's the problem, is like in the moment we never think logically, because like you're thinking, okay, if I get tapped out by anyone, it doesn't really matter because you've in a sense of it, you've tapped them out like hundreds of times. If they catch you once, it's not the end of the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, everyone's
don't
gonna
forget it, you stupid white belt.
I think
and everyone's gonna get tapped out at some point and stuff like that. So if you think about it that way, but then when you're in there, you're like, oh no, I don't want to get tapped out. Yeah. So it's like crazy. But we'll have to discuss a little bit more after the break, because we're gonna have a little break and hear from our sponsors, which is
Kev's quote book.
Kev's quote.
Actually, I seen the other day it was Kev's. There's a place called Kev's bloody something.
Nah, lost it.
That was great. Thanks for that, Steve.